Time. It's the universal equalizer. We all have exactly the same seconds in our minutes, in our hours, in our day. And none of us know how many of these days we're gonna get. So it's very important to use your time wisely. And that's a key to remember, is that it's your time. And if you don't protect it and take full advantage of it, you don't get it back. And no one else can do that for you. This video is about calendar blocking and how to build your ideal schedule and your ideal day and your ideal week and your ideal life down to the minute, so you know you're spending your time how you want and need to be spending it, to be the most creative and productive you can be, and to actually live the life you desire to live. You can build it. You can build your life minute by minute.
Become the hero of your story. On this channel, we go deep into priming your mind so you can become the rock star on your blog. I'm so glad you're here showing up for yourself. I'm Stirling. I'm a creative mindset coach, and I'm here to share my bag of magic tricks, including NLP, hypnotherapy, and EFT, so you can rewrite your reality and level up to your superhero self. Join the Confidence to Create Challenge, #Bite the Kryptonite. If you're seeking guidance on how to fully step into your ideal reality and you're ready to rock, stirfree.co is full of resources and opportunities to work with me directly, from group coaching and tailored courses to one-on-one sessions and personalized programs. I am so grateful you are here to up-level. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, because everyone deserves to learn how to prime their mind.
Intentionally building the way you use your time and enforcing your schedule is a very succinct way to practice boundary setting. And as we always say, having healthy boundaries makes a healthy person. So if you work with me as a one-on-one client, or if you've taken any of my courses or challenges, or if you're familiar with my work, you know that we do a time audit. It's basically step one, and it's all about expectations versus reality. So you figure out how it is you would like to be spending your time, how it is you think you're spending your time, and then actually measure down to the minute how you are spending your time. And then you have to get really honest with yourself. You're the only one that loses out if you're not totally transparent with yourself when you're measuring how you're spending your time and looking at whether that lines up with your goals or not. Calendar blocking comes down to breaking your life down into blocks. It's a geometry, just like it sounds like. You've got your big long rectangle that is your year. You've got your month. You've got your week. You've got your day, and you can take that day all the way down to the minutes and even fractions of minutes. We call them seconds. And you have to be really honest with yourself. So when it comes to blocking your day, you want to do it down to the minute, from waking to sleeping, and you should even be scheduling in the time that you're waking up, the time that you're going to sleep, and therefore the amount of time you're sleeping, because otherwise it's not a complete day. And these days turn into the blocks for your weeks, which turn into the blocks for your months, which turn into the blocks for your years, which turn into your life. So when calendar blocking, I use Google Calendar, and it directly corresponds and communicates with my iCalendar. But you can do this with paper and pen. You can do this with a wall calendar. You can do this with any sort of app that you want to use for this sort of thing. They're all laid out very similarly in this linear fashion. Step one, after your time audit, create a list of what you do every day, what you do for your job, what you do in your life, what you do on a regular basis. And then find the commonalities within this list. What tasks do I have where I need to have a full face of makeup on? What tasks do I have where I don't? What things am I doing outside the house? What things am I doing online? What things am I doing in the kitchen? And these commonalities mean that you can block these tasks together, and you don't have to switch focus even when it comes time to do the next task, because they're all taking place in the same place, or they all required the same preparation, even if they're technically a different task and technically on a different calendar. Because that's the next step, is I create a calendar, meaning like a different color and a different brain section of the calendar for each of the types of things that I do. So I personally have a calendar for my various call schedules. I have a call schedule calendar for booking, for sipping the tea TV. I have a coaching call calendar schedule. And I have other calls on a schedule calendar that don't fall under those two categories, although those two are predominantly where I'm making my calls. I have a calendar for appointments outside the house. I have a calendar for working out. I have a calendar for food, the time that I'm taking to eat. I have a publishing deadlines calendar. I have a tasks and a micro tasks calendar, a la Sunny Lenarduzzi. Her content is great. Check it out. I have a travel calendar, which for me means time in transit, the time that it takes to get from place to place. Then I have a trips calendar, which is more like vacations when I'm gonna be not home. So there are two kinds of travel, but they're two different kinds of travel. They require two different schedules. They require two different calendars. I have a filming calendar. I have a bills and scheduled payments calendar. I block my time for socializing, and that has its own calendar. I have a content calendar. I have a classes and courses calendar, reminders, get stuff done, personal projects, rituals, and I have a collaborative calendar. So this one integrates with other people on my team, like my web designer, Mo, or my social media manager, Rachel, both of whom I am willing to recommend to you if you need some good work done. So step 2 is the time audit, which means you need to actually keep track of each of these things that you're doing and the time that it takes you to do them. So I know that my morning ritual is going to be on my calendar every day, and my evening ritual is going to be on my calendar every night. And if you want to know more about either of those things, check out the videos on those topics. And I know how long this is going to take me, so I'm going to create that time block of 45 minutes for my morning ritual every morning, scheduled to start at the time when I am scheduled to wake up. So I don't put anything else in that time frame. And I'm being really honest with my time audit, you know? I'm not imagining how great it would be to have 2 hours for my morning ritual, or thinking I can get it all done in 10 and be ready to go. Honesty is key. Another practice that comes in handy is figuring out how to translate your to-do list into actual time blocks. So instead of a checklist that says laundry, dishes, pay rent, put how much time each of those things is going to take and figure out where they fit in your calendar when you have enough time to do them. A great tip from Amy Landino of Savvy Sexy Social is she sets a 10-minute reminder for every event on the calendar. So she has a 10-minute warning. Oh, I need to be finishing this call up because in 10 minutes I'm supposed to be editing that video, etc., etc. It's also super key to batch your tasks by type and focus. So I personally would put creative tasks back to back, administrative tasks back to back, social media tasks back to back, meetings that I'm having at the coffee shop down the street, back to back, because then I'm not having to take all the creative energy to switch gears, and I can stay in the flow. I'm not pulling myself out of the situation and like having a jarring effect on my mind space. It's also super helpful to make a list of repeated actions so you know the things that you're doing over and over again. You need to schedule in your commute time and the time that you're at school, or the time that you're at work if you don't work from home. These are going to be repeating blocks in your schedule on a regular basis. Make sure you put those in. Take into consideration the detail of the time it takes to eat, the time it takes to cook the meal, meal prep time, the time it takes to plan the meal, the time it takes to shop for the meal. All of that needs to be blocked in. It's unlikely you're going to do all of those things in the same 45-minute window. And it's super key to schedule in time to relax, me time, time for you, because that's when the creative brain really feels free to do things. And if you create a safe container of time blocked in your calendar that is the only thing you need to be doing, oh, your inner creative self is going to love you for that. Once you have all of these things blocked out, listed, you've figured out the basics, and you're actually going through the tasks, when something comes up, ask yourself, does this really need to be done? If the answer is yes, ask yourself, does this need to be done right now? And does this need to be done by me? Because if it doesn't really need to be done, it should not go on your calendar. If it does not need to be done right now, you got other things to do. And if it does not need to be done by you, delegate the task. Those check-in questions are from Sunny Lenarduzzi's video on a similar topic, totally worth checking out. When you come to the end of a time block for a particular task, ask yourself, is this really done? And if not, does it actually deserve or need more time? And look at what you're going to have to bump or reschedule to fit it in, and then get really honest with yourself about your priorities. Because only you get to set your priorities, just like only you get to set your schedule in this particular way, as in these are your minutes. You have to decide what to do with them. You have to be decisive so that you can be creative.
And when you're ready to head out on your own hero's journey, come find me at stirfree.co and I can help lighten the load by lighting your way.